Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing great. We thank God again for the gift of life. Today, I want to share with you a story in the Bible that I've been thinking about today. And I know that we can all learn something from this story. It is from 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 to 11. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 to 11. I'm sure most of you know the story already. And so 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 1 to 11 talks about a man named Naaman. A man named Naaman. The Bible has so many ways he described him. He said he was the captain of hosts of the king of Syria. In other words, he was the commander of the army in Syria. So it was a big position. Again, the Bible describes him as honorable. He was an honorable man. He was respected wherever he went. He was somebody that played an important role in Syria. Again, he describes him as a mighty man of valor, a mighty man of valor. But aside all the big names and good names that this man had and the good roles that he was playing in Syria, in the end, the Bible said, but he was a leper. But he was a leper. And so we all know, for those of you that know the story, again, in 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 to 11, there was a maid that helped Naaman's wife. This maid was from Israel that went to her mistress and told her that there is a prophet in Israel that is able to heal her master if they're able to go to him. So immediately the king of Syria decided to send a message to the king of Israel. And in the end, we all know how the story unfolded. The king of Israel tore his clothes because he couldn't help it. He was not the one for the job. But as soon as Elisha heard the story, he decided to help Naaman so that everybody knew there is a prophet in Israel. And there is something that happened when Naaman started interacting with Elisha, the prophet, as to how his healing took place. And I want us all to learn something from this. And we're going to start from verse 9. So Naaman came with his horses and chariots, stood at the door of Elisha's house, and Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean. But Naaman was angry and went away, saying, behold, I thought that he would surely come out to me and stand and call upon the name of the Lord, his God, and wave his hand over the place and cure the leper. Are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? So Elisha is telling this man that had a problem. He had leprosy, how he was going to be healed. But he decided that everything that Elisha was telling him to do was just below him. The river Jordan was too low for him to go and dip himself 7 times in there, because to him there are better rivers that he could be dipping himself in. And so why wouldn't he say that or come out and do something instead of telling him to just go and dip himself in the river Jordan? You know, there is something that we can all learn from this. Sometimes our help can come from places that we least expected. Sometimes our help can come from places that we are so uncomfortable to go to. It could be that the Lord will put our help in the hands of a child or somebody that we feel we are too higher than, or in a place that we don't even want to go to. We don't want to associate ourselves to. Those are people that we don't regard. But that is where the Lord is saying for us to go and get help. You know, after everything was done and Naaman's servant advised him to do it and he listened. That was a good thing. He listened and he went to dip himself in the river Jordan 7 times as Elisha had commanded him. And lo and behold, his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, the Bible says. And he was clean. He got back a new flesh. In other words, there was a new beginning. You know, for some of us, our new beginnings are in places that we are so uncomfortable to go to. For some of us, the Lord has put our help in places that we don't want to go to, in the hands of people that we don't want to go or associate ourselves with. But because the Lord wants to work on our pride, he has put our help in the hands of these people. If Naaman had decided that this river Jordan was too low for his status, and therefore he would not go and dip himself in there, guess what? He would still be a leper. Until he humbled himself and went into the river Jordan, he would not have gained his healing. Today, what is this telling us? It's important for us to put away our pride. The Lord has a way of getting our attention, especially in areas that we struggle with. God can put our help in the hands of somebody that is even younger than you, somebody that's not in the status that you find yourself in, somebody that maybe you feel that you don't even regard, somebody that does not even have the educational background that you have, someone that is probably not from the same kind of family rank that you find yourself in, but the Lord will put your help there. And you need to humble yourself so your new beginning can come out of these people or these places that we feel so uncomfortable to go to. Today, it's important for us to put away our pride and humble ourselves, because there are so many of us that have new beginnings awaiting for us in places that we don't want to go to, or in the hands of people that we don't want to go to. The Lord is speaking to you and I through his word and from the story of Naaman to humble ourselves, because God has a way of changing all of us, and he has a way of giving us a good start or a new beginning. Naaman's flesh came out as a baby. He got fresh flesh, I would say, and that is as a result of his humility in the end to go into the river Jordan. In the beginning, he was so proud, he didn't want to go. But when he humbled himself and he did as Elisha told him, he got his healing. I hope tonight or today, wherever you're watching me from, I'm saying both because I don't know what time of the day you are watching this. I hope you get a lesson from this. I hope we sit down and ponder over our lives and the things that we can do to help us come out of whatever it is that we are going through, and put away our pride and listen to God's direction. And I know that new beginnings await us, and we shall definitely get there when we accept to be humble to God's instructions and God's direction. I hope this message finds you well, and I hope that you are blessed. Have a blessed day, have a blessed night, wherever you're watching me from, and be blessed. Bye.